SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey says conference is considering moving to one division. What does that mean? Is that good for college football? Is that good for all of us? Is that good for the SEC? I don't think so. We're going to talk about it today. Hey guys, welcome back to Hightop Sports here. I'm your host, Sheldon Walker. Make sure you guys turn on the bell, like and subscribe. We put out bangers almost every day now. We go live twice a week, Wednesday and on Sundays. Wednesday live at 8:35. Make sure you guys come hang out with us. Now let's get into it. The news struck today as the SEC is looking to go to one division. Possibly. They're heavily leaning towards that way, just like the Big 12 and the Pac-12 is currently. And now it begs the question, is this good? Is this good for football? Is it good for the SEC? We don't know. There's a lot of questions and a lot of stones that are left unturned, but we're going to talk about it today. How it looks right now is in 2025, Oklahoma and Texas will be sliding over to the SEC because the SEC is the best conference in America. And that would mean there'll be 16 teams in the SEC. So instead of having 8 and 8, East and West, they want 16 from top to bottom. The goal is, and how I'm envisioning it, is they want everyone to play everybody as much as they possibly can. The thought process is going from 8 conference games to 9 conference games, going from 4 out of conference games to 3 out of conference games. Now let's break this part into 2 parts, okay? If you play 9 conference games, well, there's 16 teams, so you're not going to be playing everybody, okay? And to make sure they get this diversity that they're speaking of, those schedules are going to have to change pretty frequently. So the consistent games that we're used to getting, the Florida Georgias, the Florida Tennessees, the Florida Kentuckys, right, the Alabama Auburns. Now, most of those will probably stay intact, obviously, because they are in the SEC, but I could see those things not being as consistent. We may have a year or two where they might get skipped because they have to fill in that blank with other teams. I could be reaching here, but bear with me. Point being is right now we have a consistent schedule that we know each year that we're going to play the considerate teams. And for a Gator fan, myself, we play Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Kentucky. Those are our consistents. We expect those. We love those. We anticipate those. That's what makes college football great because we want to get back for the teams that we played last year. Now, we enjoy playing the other, the Auburns and the Texas A&Ms every other year or so often. That's great too, but we like our consistency. We like things to stay the same. And I believe if we were to go to this model, all that would change. Point being is right now we have a consistent schedule that we know each year that we're going to play the considerate teams. And for a Gator fan, myself, we play Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Kentucky. Those are our consistents. We expect those. We love those. We anticipate those. That's what makes college football great because we want to get back for the teams that we played last year. Now, we enjoy playing the other, the Auburns and the Texas A&Ms every other year or so often. That's great too, but we like our consistency. We like things to stay the same. And I believe if we were to go to this model, all that would change. Now, I saw some people talking about it. Hey, well, we get to pick our four permanents. Would it be the Georgia, the LSU, the Auburn, and the Tennessee? Look, if you get to pick 4 permanents, great. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to have a little bit of up and down, again, to play everybody to make it as even keel as they like. Because, again, if you go to one division, you can't think about it from an East and West perspective like we are right now. We're thinking, oh, give me 2 from the West, 2 from the East. No, it's not going to work like that, right? You got to make sure that you play everybody. So how that's going to play out, again, we're not quite sure yet. We'll have to see. With 16 teams, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be like the Big Ten. My next part of that, the second part of that, going from 4 out-of-conference games to 3. I don't like that. Right now, let's look at Florida's schedule. They played Utah this year. LSU played Florida State this year. Oregon played Georgia. Those 3 games were incredible. They kicked off the season and made it an absolute blast to play out of conference like that. Alabama, Texas, great game this year, right? If you go down to 3, what are those SEC teams going to do? They're going to make those 3 games as cake and as easy as possible, knowing that the 9 games they have to play in conference are going to be absolute hell. So we're not going to get these fun out-of-conference games anymore, okay? You got Florida State. That game has to stay. So now you're down to 2 out-of-conference games for Florida in perspective, and they have to be cupcake games. And you still need the cupcake games because, 1, it's good for the schools, the cupcake schools, and 2, it's good to have a bye week in a sense, and for the SEC teams to have a week where they can get things rolling. So although you are moving to 9 in-conference games, which would be exciting in itself, you take away from the crisscross from playing other divisions, which also leads me to believe that you're leading to a one-power division where the SEC is going to just start operating under its own accord, okay? Because if they don't have to worry about playing anybody else and they can just function playing 9 in-conference games, I know the Big 12 does it now, but the Big 12 isn't that big. Pun intended. But the counter, which is what everyone is talking about right now and using it to the argument of why this is a good thing, is you have a team like Tennessee who's on the outside looking in, who is clearly the second best team in the conference, especially what they already did to LSU earlier this year, not being able to play in a conference championship game because of how the division is. I think you can speak for both sides of, look, that is what it is. You should have won the game when you were in there. You had the opportunity. It wasn't like it was taken away from you or that you didn't have a chance to win to put yourself here. You lost, and that's the way that it crumbles. I think there's a lot that has to be uncovered here and see how it rolls out. I think the division is too big to have it just 1 through 16. That's my thought process on it. I want to know your guys' thoughts. It's early in this. Let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Am I an idiot? I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of that. Am I crazy? Or do you see the silver lining there? Are you not excited about it? Are you excited about it? Do you need more information? I think most of us are going to be on the side of, I need more. I need to see how it's going to play out before I can be all bought in on this. But we'll keep you guys in tune as we learn some more. So make sure you guys turn the bell on, like, and subscribe. Hope you guys liked today's video. See you in the next one.